Previously on Starforged. So, yeah, when we last left, welcome back. When we last left Earl and Zeb, actually, you do the previously on thing, and we get a little shot of him creeping through. Like, we get a shot of the asteroid that we had been looking at, the Iron Auger asteroid with the big hole in the side and all the mining stuff around it. And we see the thing just crawling with these, like, robotic squid. We see Earl breaking into the ship that he was exploring, like zooming in, and like we see him kind of like trying to use a tracker to find where the distress call was coming from. We see him finding the body and the other destroyed robots, making his way back to the other ship and telling Zeb, "Let's just get out of here. Let's get out of here." And then the ship wheeling around and getting ready to jump, and we see the tiny little the tiny little squid creatures, those little microbots, like creeping along the hull and then like clamping on and locking in just as the ship jumps in or engages the E-drive and disappears into the drift. And that's where we are going to start things off with everything we've got going on today. So, if you'll recall, and that was just a result of us doing the getting in and out of the asteroid base and getting a mixed result. Even though I got a 9, that 10 is always going to deny me. So we are going to see where we are right now. So we are trying to get back to the system for Meridian Station. The Meridian Station is there, but I need a better name for this system. Or actually, we know what it is because it's the same name that Kay, our new companion, uses as a name, not knowing any better. Her new, not companion, connection. KTAC A003 is the actual system designation for the Meridian Station system. So we got some work to do. We're trying to get back to that system so we can figure out what's going on with K. We have a vow to return K to the star at the Meridian Station safely. That's going to be a trick. That's kind of what we're focusing on right now. And we are still trying to get traveling from the grave to Meridian Station. So it is time for undertake the expedition for the next leg of our journey, because we're just at 6 and that's not quite as far along as I would like to be. Hopefully this one will work out. So we do the jump here and get into undertake an expedition. Cool. When you trailblaze a route, what are we doing? We're moving at speed, keeping under the radar. I think we're definitely keeping under the radar because I would definitely like to exit the system without those squid things. Figuring out that we're here or knowing anything about that. So we are going to keep under the radar. It'd be nice if we were staying vigilant, but actually we may be close enough now to actually achieve the system that houses Meridian Station and this nebulous new star. And if so, I'd like to arrive just as carefully as I can. So we're definitely keeping under the radar and rolling shadow. So we're going to do that. No bonuses on that, no extra additions to the roll. And off we go. Okay, ooh, weak hit. That's a 5 against a 1 and a 5. So not a great roll. Luckily, one of the challenge dice was weak. So when you, on a weak hit, as above, okay, you reach a waypoint, envision location and mark progress, but on a weak hit, this progress costs you. Suffer costs en route, make the suffer move, or make 1 -2 suffer move or 2 -1 suffer moves. Or we can face a peril at the waypoint and envision what you encounter. Well, the peril at the waypoint may be pretty obvious. Let's first, before we resolve that, I'd like to do, because the jumps take a couple of hours, and I'd like to take some time here while we're in transit to actually get to know Kay a little bit more, because right now they're a connection that we don't really have a lot of much of a connection to. Under the connection moves, developing a relationship. I'm not necessarily going in here with the explicit purpose of like trying to share a profound moment, but I do kind of want to just get to know them a little bit better, right? So, because they're a sliver of a star that I've managed to put into a spacesuit, and I'm going to come looking for them. I wonder where they are. I think they're back in the engine room area. And the reason I say that is because I feel like it's almost like a trap. I mean, the engine is kind of a fission engine or a fusion engine. The jump engine is a whole different thing, but just the regular engines, the power plant of the ship, to a certain extent, has to feel like sort of a, well, we'll see how it feels. Let's go over and take a look at the ship and just see where we're at here. So the ship, if you remember, I've got kind of a layout here. We're up in the top area. We've got the helm and sort of the control room, cockpit, whatever you want to call it. The next floor down, though, we've got a lot of empty storage. The ship is actually a lot. It is definitely a lot for one person to be rattling around in, which Earl's kind of reminded of more than anything else in moments like these. I have to wonder to a certain extent how much time Earl actually spends just not really in the crew quarters or anything like that, just hang out in the cockpit like sleeping in a chair because he just doesn't want to be reminded how much empty space there is around him. So yeah, we're gonna get back down in here and see if we can find him. Actually, ask Zeb, like, hey Zeb, do you know where Kay is at right now? Do you know where he's at? I believe his energy signature is in the engine room. You believe? You're not sure? Well, the suit does dampen it down quite a bit, and the other energies in the engine room also provide a certain amount of influence. But I'm quite sure that's where he's at. That's where they are at. All right. Well, I'll head back that way. They're not doing anything, are they? No, not that I can tell. It's not. They're not trying to manipulate any of my equipment. So I would have said something. Yeah, I would hope so. But I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. So we're gonna head back there, and I'm gonna head back there and just kind of see what's what. So, what are we looking at here? I think when we get back here, we see that Kay is there in the suit. We see the suit just kind of standing there, the glow coming out of the faceplate. Not super bright, but definitely bright. And that's even with maybe the shield down, like sort of the shade shield down against, like, but still kind of a glow. And they're looking at the engine. And hey there, Kay, how you doing? Do you just you all right? You need anything? I wanted to check and make sure that the suit wasn't making you uncomfortable or anything. We can get you out of that for a minute if you need to, stretch your legs. I guess if you don't really have legs, but you know what I'm saying. If it's just not if it's not comfortable or anything like that. No, Earl, it's fine. I would prefer other arrangements if I had the option, but I think this is best to protect you and the Zebulon Harding. This ship is the Zebulon Harding, but the other person on the ship is also named Zebulon. Well, it's a little complicated. I call him Zeb. He's sort of the spirit of the ship, I suppose you might say. I don't understand this word, spirit. Well, I suppose it's a bit like you. Humans, at least, have a concept of the energy and will and personality that sort of animate a person and give them a reason for being and make them care about other people and things like that. They call that their spirit. Now, if somebody's got a strong spirit, then they're not too easily swayed. They're not too easily pushed around. And if somebody's got a weak spirit, well, they pretty much just drift at the whim of whoever happens to be blowing on them the hardest, I suppose. But it's also a sense of their personality and just their strength of will, I suppose. And to a certain extent, it feels to me a bit like imagine that suit were a person and you were the spirit inhabiting it. You're the one that makes it get up and walk around. And you're doing a great job of it, I might say. I don't think when I was only a few days old in my suit, I could walk around as well as you. It took me probably a better part of a year or so before I could even kind of stagger around. You're doing really very well. So in a way, you're like us in that, I mean, it's not your natural body, but so are you saying I have spirit or I am a spirit? Oh, well, I don't really know too much about that one way or the other. I'd say maybe both. No real reason it can't be both. I mean, there are certainly spirits around. Well, best not to talk about that. Bad luck. But you're comfortable. That's the main thing. Oh, yes. Are you nervous at all? Not sure what you mean. Well, we're bringing you back to this, hopefully your home system, to this, maybe the star that you were born from or anything like that. I'm not sure what that's gonna be like for you. I'm just curious. It's a scary thing. Coming back to your point of origin, I guess you might say. Just wondering if it's causing you any sort of emotional distress. I'm not even sure. And as he says these things, like Earl is trying to treat this as normally as he can, but he doesn't even know this thing has emotional distress. What even it might feel like for this thing, but whatever. He's trying to treat it as normal as he can. And really, what I'm trying to do here, I don't even know if this is going to do me any mechanical good. I don't remember what my momentum is at. I suppose I can do some stuff. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get to know Kay. get a sense of what this thing is on the ship, and I mean, yeah, and just learn some more about it. Both to get a sense of, you know, what it is and how I can help it, and really just learn more about it. So to that end, I got a couple different things here I'm going to do. I want to gain. I'm going to eventually gather information, but before I do that, I want to secure an advantage. I'm just trying to assess what's going on here and try to make some sort of plan. I mean, do you remember being back in this system at all? You identified yourself when we asked you who you were. You gave the call letters for the system. And I assume that must be like saying that's your address, that's your home address, so to speak. And you know, it's a pretty intense thing. But you remember being from this place at all? Do you remember having this system as your home? Do you remember being part of this star, being near this star? Maybe you weren't part of it. Maybe you're more like a sundog. I'm not sure what a sundog is, Earl. But and so what I'm going to do here, I'm gonna secure an advantage just to get a nice sense of like what do I need to do here? Like, do I have to fly this thing straight up to the star? Is it enough to get it in the system? Am I even going to the right system? What are we doing here? And I'm trying to do this in a very sociable way. I'm not trying to be analytical about it. I'm not being scientific. I'm certainly not trying to coerce him physically or taking my time with it. So I'm saying this is heart because I'm certainly not trying to trick him, and I'm not really using like scientific methods. So it's really just me trying to make a connection with this guy. So I'm going to say I'm trying to secure an advantage with heart. And I don't think there's any bonus on this thing. We're just going to roll, see what we get. And that is not great. I rolled the worst possible dice I can get. I got a 1 plus 3. That gets me up to a 4. That gives me a weak hit on secure an advantage, which is all right. On a strong hit, I can take both of these advantages from the roll. On a weak hit, I can just use one. Nice thing, secure an advantage is much kinder than it is in base Ironsworn, which is why, if you recall, I was using the Starforged version of Secure an Advantage most of the way through Ironsworn, just because I found it to be a much more valuable move. It really mechanically wasn't really worth the risk as written in Ironsworn. At least that was my personal opinion. So that's pretty good. It's still fine. I'll take the 2 momentum. As I learn probably a little bit more, just give me some idea what's going on here. Well, I believe I do remember it. Do you remember any others like you? No, not really. I remember being alone, but warm, safe, and enveloped, and just a sense of comfort and ease. Cozy. You felt cozy. Oh, is that the word for it? Well, it's a word for it. You use some of the other ones, but I mean, you felt cozy. And cozy is a pretty good way of feeling when we feeling at home. So I guess I'd say hopefully this is the star we're talking about. Was it in the star? Where you have a sense of being in the star? Well, it wasn't as dark as it is here. It wasn't so very, very, very dark as it is here. There's very little light where we are right now. Earl, this device here that seems to have captured this energy, I feel a sense of light from it. It alleviates the darkness somewhat. But no, it wasn't nearly so dark as it was here. That's good. That's good. But you're not sure if you remember a specific star or what the place might have been like? Were you in a cloud? I'm sorry. I shouldn't be bothering you so much for this. I'd hate to think that I came halfway across the whole sector and took you to the wrong place. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. I'm trying to gather information here. When you search for clues, ask questions. Now, this does get a little bit more precise. I'm trying to get details, and I think that makes sense that with this one I'm rolling wits, which is all gather information allows you as an option, which is fine. That's a miss with a match. A 3 against double 7s. Okay. On a miss, your investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. Pay the price. Okay. So my pay the price says an individual or community that I care about is exposed to danger. Okay. I'm gonna look at the oracles as well here because I feel like with a double, miss with a match, I should really see. I rolled a story complication. And I got roll twice more. I might not be able to use all this. We'll see what happens here, but I think probably I can make all of that work. Needed item or resource is okay, so the story complications I got are needed item or resource is unavailable and a key location is threatened or made unsafe. Use this as an alternative to the pay the price table when you encounter a negative outcome as a crucial moment. You might use this table after rolling matched tens on the challenge dice. All right, fine. An individual, so all in all, I've got an individual or community you care about is exposed to danger. A key location is threatened or made unsafe, and a needed item or resource is unavailable. And then I also threw up the action and the theme oracles just to do a thing about that, and I got suppress and knowledge. Okay. So I'm asking these questions, and Kay kind of gets agitated. I don't remember, Earl. I don't remember why I'm not there anymore. I don't remember how I was taken away or how I came. I remember that there was a cage, and I don't remember how they entrapped me. How I was put, how I came to be in that cage. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I'm not. Sometimes it's hard for people to remember things when they've gone through a lot. Believe me, I know, and so does Zeb. We've been through similar things. We've been through similar things. We've had things that have happened that have caused our memories to. Huh. I swear I'm going to get this sorted out for you. And if it's not safe to be there to take you back, if that's just not the best place for you, if it brings you back within range of danger, I'm not taking you back there. I'll take you someplace. I'll get you someplace safe. We'll find a place where you can be safe. It may not be home, but home may not be the best place for you right now. Okay, so mechanically speaking, I've got a whole bunch of other stuff that just got complicated here because the location is threatened, made unsafe. The individual community I care about is exposed to danger. I don't know if I can actually return K to the system, not safely. And even if I do get him back, I'm not sure if the system is actually going to be safe. I think we're finding out just indications that it's definitely not going to be safe. And that kind of goes back then to my jump, my undertake the expedition being a weak hit. And the weak hit indicator there for that move is that there's peril at the waypoint. Well, yeah, I think we've kind of identified what the peril at the waypoint is. That's pretty clear. I am going to mark a little bit of progress on my connection with K. Now they're an extreme, so every mark only gets me 2 ticks on the box, so this could take a while. But I feel like there is a heart to heart. I feel like I've expressed pretty well to Kay that I care about the situation. I care about them, and I want things to be good for them. Why don't you come up here? Come up to the bridge. Come along up here with me. We're gonna get in here and see just exactly what we've got to work with when we get there. All right, let's see where we are, and maybe you can help me. I mean, we're traveling through the stars, and you're a bit of star stuff, so it seems to me that you ought to be up there on the bridge helping us out. Let's get you to work, kid. All right, Earl. That sounds fun. All right, sounds fun. Let's get you up there to the bridge. All right, so we're gonna get him up there. Gather information was a miss with a match. So all right, all right, yuck. A whole bunch of yuck. Zeb, how close are we to coming out of this jump? Well, I think this is actually a fairly fertile, potentially useful. Don't say fertile, please, Zeb. I think it's a very useful drift. We might actually be coming out within range of the system. All right. Well, if you bring us out, see if you can't bring us out somewhere. See if you can't bring us out somewhere in the cloud around the star, rather than anywhere near Meridian Station. Well, that won't be a shielded area. Well, the clouds will probably help a little bit with that. I'll soak up some of the radiation. I'm not exactly sure if that's how that works, but I understand what you're saying. The station is shielded, and because if you remember from our earlier systems, we've got this lovely station and this big shield here to deal with this big star. Obviously, we can't come in anywhere near Meridian Station if there's any way to avoid it. So let's just see what we can do here, and for now, I don't know. I feel like that's just going to be the best move that we've got right now. So we're just gonna let's just go with that as the plan. All right, Zeb. All right, Earl. So I'm tempted here. I get to mark progress on the travel, which brings me up to an 8, but we have this whole other complication of stuff going on here. So I think I'm not going to try to get another one. I'm going to try to tap this thing out, but I'm going to try to conclude this traveling from Grave to Meridian Station. So we're going to conclude this as we come out of here and see if this is actually if this got us where we actually wanted to be. So we're going to conclude this travel from this expedition. And I rolled, I guess that's an 8 on the progress, which is fine. That was what I had against challenge dice of a 4 and a 10. Ouch. Ouch. 10 is gonna hurt. All right, so let's we're gonna go back over here to the moves, and we are going to check out the exploration moves for finishing the expedition. Roll the challenge dice compared to your progress. On a weak hit, so on a strong hit, you reach your destination, great, and complete your survey. Mark a reward on your Discovery's legacy track per the expedition's rank. 1 tick is dangerous, 2 ticks, dangerous is 2 ticks for mills, a box, so on and so forth. On a weak hit, as above, but you face an unforeseen complication at the end of your expedition. Make the legacy reward 1 rank lower and envision what you encounter. An unforeseen complication. All right, so I think what's going to happen here is that, all right, so first of all, it was a dangerous expedition, but it's downgraded 1, so we get 1 tick on the discovery track. However, we are finishing an expedition here, and when you finish an expedition in your starship and score a hit, this journey strengthens your ties to your ship and any fellow travelers. You and your allies may mark 1 tick on your bonds legacy track. So cool, I get a tick on bonds and a tick on discoveries. And I think Explore does something. When you finish an expedition and score a hit, mark an extra tick on your discoveries legacy track. So that kind of counteracts that downside there for me. All right, so let's go in and mark all of that because we have learned some stuff. And I am going to go to legacies. And we mark twice. Did it just do it twice? We mark twice on the discoveries track, and we mark once on the bonds track. Okay. And I missed this last time, but I marked. I got some stuff from discoveries last time, so I actually completed a previous box and got some experience. But I actually have 2 experience now, unspent, which is cool. So yeah, 14 experience and 12 spent, which is great. I've got something I can do there. All right, so go back to my vow, which was return K TAC A003 to the start Meridian Station safely. I will mark progress on this because we came out, we've completed the jump, we're in the system, but I think that the situation is such that basically what I'm doing to myself because of this is as soon as we arrive here, the situation is perilous. We basically come out of the drift and we're neither far enough away from the station to keep from being detected, nor are we in any kind of area that's remotely safe from being around this new star. So we're immediately getting radiation warnings, heat warnings. Zeb is telling me about the unstable environment because we're in the molecular cloud around this thing, and it's very turbulent. And we're also getting, in a very staticky way, hailed apparently by some sort of either the station itself or some patrol craft or something like that, Meridian Station. They spot us almost immediately and start hailing us in a very hostile way. So we need to figure out right now if this is something that we are going to be able to do. So what I'm doing with this is I'm forcing myself, as the GM, saying, because of all this stuff that's gone wrong, because of what you learned about what you learned about Kay, what you learned about the system itself, and the fact that they captured him and and they may not be safe, and the fact that you came out, you're not ideally, if you're going to do this, you need to do it right now, and basically this is your only opportunity. If it can be done safely at all, this is the only opportunity to do this. So I'm going to ask you to to basically try and fulfill this quest to return K safely to the system. And I get a weak hit. So my progress of 4 against a challenge dice of a 2 and a 9. So let's take a look at what that means for resolving a thing. I'm not sure if I would ever, I don't know, I would propose it to the players and say, does this seem fair? Because I feel like what's happening is this thing is really just forcing your hand, and you need to just kind of leap in here and figure out what's going to work or not. And, you know, if they were down for it, we'd go. But I'm pretty okay doing it to myself because I know that my player is not lying to me and they are actually totally okay with this. So fulfilling your vow. On a strong hit, your vow is fulfilled. Mark a reward on your quest legacy track according to the vow's rank, blah, blah, blah. On a weak hit, same thing, but there is more to be done or you realize the truth of your quest. If you swear an iron vow to set things right, take your full legacy reward, otherwise make the reward one rank lower. Okay. So we come out of the system, we see the star and the things, the ship's being touched, but I hear Kay say through the suit speakers, home. I recognize it. Earl. Zeb, it's home. Yeah, it's home, but I'm not sure it's actually going to be very safe for you here. Kay, I'm not sure if this is going to be a really good idea. Oh, but it's home, Earl. It's home. I'm going to look at my vows here. My vow was return Kay to the star at Meridian Station safely. The move is swear an iron vow to set things right. Take your full legacy reward. Otherwise, make the reward one rank lower. Kay, I need you to listen to me right now. Zeb, line us up. Glimmer. Kay, and I get kind of in front of I kind of interpose myself between the viewport and the suit. So, Kay, I need you to listen to me right now. I need you to hear me. I don't think this is safe. I'm afraid that if you leave out into space right now, that Meridian will just catch you again. They already know we're here. They're going to be here shortly. They may be already. I'm sure they're already on the way. Now we could let you out. If you force it. I have concerns about that, but if you force it, if you need me to, I'll let you out. I'm never going to tell a free thing no, but I'm begging you here. I'm asking you. Let me help you. Let me find you a safer place to be. Let me find you somewhere where you can be safe, safer than this. And hopefully I can get you back here at some point, bring you back here where you're meant to be. But in the meantime, stay with us and we'll find a better place for you to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a compel and see if Kay will stay with us. And if they will, I'm going to re-swear my iron vow. And if they won't, I'm going to take the weak hit. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to look at compel here. When you try to persuade someone or make them an offer, envision your approach. I am charming, pacifying, encouraging, so I'm going to roll heart. Okay. And that's a miss with a match. Oh, I don't know if I can let that stand. I don't know if I could. That is an 8 against 2 8s. Okay. Wow, this shit just got a lot more complicated. I tell you what. All right, so I'm gonna look at here's my path for fugitive. You are hunted by a power or authority. When you make a move, you may rely on your resourcefulness to improve the result to a strong hit. So what that means is I can tick. This card's supposed to have 3 boxes in it, but I can tick a box on fugitive to basically automatically take a strong. If you do, mark a box above. Well, not above, but you know what I mean. To represent the hunters closing in on you. On your third mark, a notable foe or force has tracked you down. If you overcome them or escape, clear the boxes and mark 1 tick on your quest's legacy box. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I can feel. I don't know how I can read the body language of a star creature inside of an empty spacesuit, but I can. I said, listen, Kay. I know you want to stay. I know you want this. You have to listen to me. We have dealt with Meridian before, and so have you. You've been in that cage. You do not want to be in that cage again. They will catch you. If you stay here, I believe that they will catch you. They will take your memories from you again, just like they did with Zeb, just like they did with me. I have no idea if that's actually what happened, but that's just what I'm saying right now. We need to run. Right now, we need to get out of here and figure out a better plan than this. You have got to believe me. I am doing this for you. I am saying this for you. Hey, you've got to listen to me. We have got to run. I will bring you home. I promise I will bring you home, but not today. And I'm ticking fugitive, which gives me a strong hit on the compel. So pause there because we're going to look and see what that does first. It also is my third tick on fugitive, which is a whole other thing. So we're going to go back over to the moves, and we're going to look at the compel. On a strong hit, they'll do what you want and agree to your conditions, take +1 momentum. I want to stay here, Earl, but I don't want to be caught either. I don't ever want them to catch me again. All right, then we have a plan. I promise. Swear, hand on iron, I will get you to a safe place. I will find a place for you I will find a place for you. I will find a place where you are safe and where you are happy. If I can, I'll bring you back here, but at the very least, I will find you a place and find you a home. I am going to... So I'm going back to my vows, and I'm clearing this one. It was a dangerous vow, and I'm going to change it because I just find a safe place for K3 and get them home someday if possible. This is more of an Ironsworn thing, where if you have to re-swear the vow, it becomes a level more difficult, but I'm going to go with this because it sounds like more complicated than just getting them home. So we're going to make this formidable. I am going to go back to my legacies, and I'm doing 2 tick boxes on quests, mark, which gets me another 2 XP, so I'm up to 4 unspent at this point. And I completed a quest on the behalf of my companion, which doesn't make a bond for me, but go back over here to the connections, and I get to mark another mark for K because I did complete the quest. And now I've sworn another vow on their behalf, but I need to make that roll first. So we're going to go back over in the moves, and we're going to swear that iron vow and see how it lands. Oh man, I hope I don't screw this up. Write your vow and give it a rank. If you swear this vow to a connection, add +1. All right, rolling plus heart, adding +1 because it is to a connection, and I roll that. Oh, thank God. After those other ones, I was worried. All right, so that's a strong hit. 7 against a 1 and a 5. Awesome. You're emboldened, and it's clear what you must do next. Is it? Because it doesn't feel super clear to me. Fine. +2 momentum, though. I will take it. That gets me up to a 7. It rings true, Lo. That feels. I gotta tell you, it feels really good to get a strong hit on that one. That feels really appropriate. So I'm going back to my legacies, and I marked. Nope, not legacies. Connections, and I'm going to mark another bit of progress with K. Since I just swore a vow again on their behalf. I completed a quest, but it wasn't the right quest. So I'm vowing another quest to help them, and that gets me another tick. So I'm 2 boxes in on K, which is pretty good since they're an extreme. That's extreme. It's an extreme accomplishment. I feel pretty good about that. Yeah, we got a lot going on there. All right. Good. All right, Zeb. Fire it up. Let's jump the hell out of here before they get here. All right, Earl. I'm going to try. There's quite a bit of interference, and right about then, there's a massive. I feel the power surge in the floor. I see the sparks fly off the control panels, and something in the ship makes a sound that the ship should never make. It is just, I don't like that sound at all. Zeb, what the hell was that? The E-drive. There was too much interference, Earl. There was feedback all along the hull. Something was wrong. There was too much conductive energy along the hull. The E-drive went down. We don't have a way of jumping out of here. And that's where we're going to stop, because on my moves, under my assets, I checked the 3rd box on fugitive, which brings me to 3. And when I get to 3 on fugitive, notable foe or force has tracked us down. They didn't actually track us down. We pretty much came to their fucking front door and knocked. But whatever. I have to overcome them or escape. I will give you one guess which one I'm going to go for between overcome and escape. Just the one guess. All right, so we're going to start next session with that, because that's a lot. And I need to figure out, I think what we're going to be doing with that is another one of our scene challenges, where we have the tension clock that we need to make some progress on as we navigate through the charged molecular cloud around this new star, with Meridian Station troops in hot pursuit, having identified the Zebulon Harding, while we try also to repair the E-drive and get the heck out of here. And that is where we're going to start next time. That's going to be a hell of a hell of a show. Meanwhile, I just want to stop in here. So thank you all. I'm going to wrap. That's the session wrap up. But I realize there's a little bit of paperwork I need to do here. There's actually a few things that I should have been doing that I have not been doing with all of my exploration and stuff like that. And one of the things is when you do these expeditions and stuff and they're successfully completed, you get to mark new corridors, basically. That corridors isn't the right word, but you know what I mean. Like when I'm traveling along one of these routes, it's only one roll, and it's much simpler to go from here to here than it is to go hop, 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 right? So what at least for me, and I'm going to make a slightly different color for this thing, I want to mark a couple of places where we don't need to do and undertake an expedition in order to get around. From Glimmer, I know how to get to the Dead Rock Blob. I don't think I actually know how to get to the ship graveyard, so I might move that one. But and from there to JVC. So I'm gonna say that this is a route that goes down through these things. So it's kind of a weird one, but I'm gonna do that. I'm also gonna say that I know how to get to the grave through KZ and Lagrange. So we have a couple of sort of secret routes. So just a little bit of housekeeping there as I, kind of make heads or tails of everything that's happening in this crazy old world. Man, space is getting a little crowded out here. A little bit a little bit more complicated. Well, next episode, there's gonna be some action, folks. We are at Meridian Station, and things are complicated as my fugitive status with Meridian comes due. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited. I'm going to, I've got like 4 XP, and I think I might be spending that as we're in the midst of this action next time. So more to come. In the meantime, I think we'll call this one Talking with a Star. I like this episode. It's good stuff. Thanks very much for hanging out with me, everybody. I can't tell you how much it means to me. It seems like every couple of days, every day or so, somebody drops in and starts following. People start commenting, whether it's on Starforged or whether it's on the Ironsworn game or whatever. It means a lot. It really does. I just enjoy doing this. I'd be doing this anyway. I'd be shouting into the void if there was nobody listening, but people are, and they seem to really be enjoying it, and so am I. So thank you all for coming with me on this crazy, messed up misadventure. Wouldn't have it any other way. I'm glad you're here. So thanks very much.